Greetings, YouTube. Not gonna lie, I'm really hyped about the King Group buff, but then I checked my 6-star roster and I realized I don't have King Group. You know why? Because I've seen him 3 times on a Nexus Crystal, and all 3 times I'm like, I don't want that piece of trash. This is where you instantly have regrets over not having future information at your disposal. I can't tell you how many people told me, Prof, I had red mags in one of my first Nexus Crystals. I said, no, he's terrible. Now I can't pull red mags to save my life. It's the past crystal regret of the Nexus choices that lead us to present misery. That was far more poetic than I was expecting. Venompool. A day after we talked about King Groot, we've got him in the spotlight. I do have him as a 6-star, but not Awakened. Alright, so it's an origin story time. Long time ago, forgotten corner of the contest, a wise, handsome, kick-butt dude became a permanently duct-taped to a weird alien venom thingy. That's not what happened. And suddenly we have a bunch of inside jokes that I'm not going to waste your time with. Okay, so you got the stats. You don't care about the stats. You care most about his mechanics. Is he going to hit hard? That's why you're here. Venompool's primary focus is on stacking up his cooking meter to gain an endless amount of his blender buffs. That sentence by itself sounds like something that could get you arrested. These buffs can range from combat power rate boosters to bonus burst damage effects, each one providing you with a significant amount of offensive power spike. Stacking up all 5 of his blender buffs at once will allow you to gain additional fury buffs and lay out some heavy punishment on your opponent. Now, maybe I'll be proven wrong, and Lord knows I enjoy this. But so far, just by reading this brief description, I am far more hyped up for King Groot. Far more hyped up for a champion that is immune to the effects of power burn, power drain. Far more hyped up to know that when he needs to regen and there's a heal block, the regen will just be paused until it's over. I haven't really seen that before in the contest, and so as I talked about yesterday, it's smart to rank up King Groot. Plus, I hate fighting Iron Man Infinity War, and he sounds like a good Iron Man Infinity War counter with the heavy. But I like ranking up champions that do a really specific thing. We've seen today in the Summer of Pain event that our man Ronan brings the cheese back. A couple times a year, he's a beyond God tier option. Not normally, but a couple times when the buffs can be stacked and the stun duration can just infinitely spam the special one, and Kabam's developers who think that they put out such an amazing fight have to look at it and say, dang it, somebody discovered that. We didn't even think of that. We thought of Quake, which is why we put the True Strike in, but not that. Anything but that. And Ronan goes, I might be a 2-star, but suck these Ronan power control family-friendly references. Additionally, Venompool is still adept at stealing away buffs from his opponent and canceling. He's part of cancel culture. He's canceling out those pesky tech champions with a variety of power drain and damage over time immunities. Strengths, high damage potential. Venompool accumulates buffs as the fight progresses, so the longer the fight, the more buffs he gains. Great versus buff-reliant champions. Venompool is able to easily steal buffs from other champions, thus buff-heavy champions are at a disadvantage. Weaknesses, this can be said about almost any cosmic champion, right? Nullify. In other words, don't put him up against a mystic champion. Venompool is very buff-reliant, thus champions that are proficient in nullifying buffs will have an advantage. Short fights. Venompool takes some time to generate buffs. This is another reason why I don't want to use him. At the end of the day, I like wrecking people in this game. Very few things relax me enough, like bringing in a rank 3 Corvus and just destroying somebody in like 6 hits. Same with Ghost. Heck, same with Diablo. Shout out to my man. My new favorite champion, Diablo. Never thought I'd say that. I feel like I'm an alcoholic for saying that, but he is a modified second chance alcoholic. Thus, in more time-constraining fights, it will be difficult for him to ramp up his damage. In other words, Alliance Quest? Alliance War? I don't know. Alright, again, we have stats. Venompool is a cooking meter, which begins at 50 charges and gains 10 more charges every 5 seconds. Any attack from either champion grants 4 charges. Each time the cooking meter hits 100, that amount is spent to grant a random, unique, indefinite blender buff. If it's random and unique, to me, that's RNG, right? Like, you can't control that. It reminds me of when I would start praying to the Star-Lord gods whenever I'd fire a Special 2 back when he was by far my best champion and he cleared the most content. Because I didn't know if he'd provide a shock. I didn't know if he'd power drain. I just didn't know. I wish I did. I wish there was a way to control that. I think that'd be a fun, easy way to buff Star-Lord. But, and you know, how cool would it be like, all right, this guy is going to go down with shock damage. I'm going to guarantee that special 2 is going to be shock. Or I need some regen. So I'm going to guarantee that the special 2 is going to produce regen. Maybe make that like Black Widow Clairvoyance different modes. Right? I'm just saying, you know, just spitballing. Developer notes, the cornerstone of Venompool's new kit is his mastery of the culinary arts. Well, that's food for thought. If you can't handle the heat, just put Venompool into the kitchen. Well, isn't that clever? Illogical DNA, that sounds like Oklahomans. Gain immunity to power drain, power burn, and shock effects, as well as armor break debuffs. Okay, that's cool, but only when fighting tech champions. If it was fighting everybody, I think that would be a lot better. And an effect is prevented this way. Gain 50 cooking meter, cooldown 2 seconds. The cooking meter even just feels strange. I know they're trying to be clever, and maybe some people will like it, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm reading like MCOC calculus when I read these descriptions. The mana pool is open. Those pesky tech champions are going to have no chance draining it anytime soon. That wasn't very clever. Might fire that intern. Heavy attack. Reroll the most recently gained blender buff. Alright, well, I guess Pery Heavy will give you more control. If the opponent is knocked down, 100% chance to gain a vicious buff, increasing the potency of damage over time debuffs by 60%. This lasts for 5 seconds per unique buff. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Venom the Duck. I know he's really good, but even though I have a 6-star Venom the Duck now, he might even be awakened. I've never used him, because I just don't care enough about him to learn him compared to other Cosmic Champions that I love, like Captain Marvel movie, or the aforementioned Corvus, or even Cole Obsidian, maybe now Hercules. Like, these are just easier for me to learn and appreciate. Ingredients are one of the most important parts of any well-prepped meal. Make sure you get the right ones with a quick reroll and the heavy attack. Special attacks. No, it's attacks. 100% chance to inflict a bleed debuff lasting 6 seconds and causing 83.6 direct damage per level of special attack used. Okay, that could be handy. While fighting robot champions, the bleed debuff becomes a matching degeneration debuff. That's smart. Classic pairing of vicious buffs and special attacks. I'm kind of most curious about his synergies, too. Symbiotic attack, smack, special 1. Each hit has a 75% chance to nom... Why not just put it 100? You know? Why do you have to go 75%? What about that 25% you're counting on that didn't work? If the Omnommed buff was an armor up, also gain a regeneration buff. Okay, so he's got some regen. Nice. Special attack 2. If this attack intercepts the opponent, 100% chance to inflict a stun debuff lasting 3 seconds. That's cool. If Venompool is able to finish his moonwalk after the attack, he gains a temporary duplicate of each of his blender buffs lasting 20 seconds. That should be kind of cool. Fascinating. If his dance is interrupted, Venompool instead gains a power gain buff granting 1 bar of power over 10 seconds. Dinner and a show. Venompool is truly the most gracious host. Special 3. Save me. Venompool's cooking meter becomes spicy for 20 seconds, which causes it to build up twice as fast. If the cooking meter hits 100 while it is spicy, all personal bleed and degeneration debuffs on the opponent are paused for 8 seconds. Everything's better when you add a little hot sauce, and Venompool's patent-pending cooking meter is no different. Call up your friends and share tons of buffs with them. Hard pass. All with the help of Venompool's special 3. Alright, blender buffs. You got Precision, Energize, Clintar, Mutation, Hunter Spider, Malice. That's a lot. Blender buffs don't stack once Venompool's acquired all 5 other blender buffs. You will instead gain stacking Fury buffs. That does take a while. What is this, like Proxima Midnight? Signature ability. Venompool begins each quest with 1 persistent charge, which he can spend in the pre-fight menu to select 1 blender buff as his favorite food for the next fight. Favorite food is more likely to be chosen at random and gains 60% points. The favorite food is more likely to be chosen at random. Why not just not... I hate the RNG mechanic. I just hate it. I don't like not being able to count on things in this game. It always annoys me. Synergy bonuses. Start with Fresh Deadpool with Deadpool, Gulppool, Platinum Pool, Deadpool X-Force. When the cooking meter hits 100, 40% chance to gain a regeneration buff. I hate this 40% chance thing. Just stop it. Just do 100% chance. Give us something we can count on. Accurately measure ingredients. Critical rating, pretty big increase. Blend in symbiote. Add plain white flour. That almost sounded racist. What are you doing, Kabam? Fry and skillet. Adjust cooking timer. I mean, this is creative, but I'm just kind of over this. When the cooking meter hits 100, 75% chance. God, so many RNG. I don't even care. Venompool Special 2 stun effects expand to Special 1, Special 3 with the aforementioned Ronin, Hulk Classic, Hulk Immortal, Satan's Sister, Thor J. Imposter. Extended Enhanced Fury, Masteries, Deep Wounds. Oh, man. Look, I know this is a little bit longer than usual at 10 minutes, but we got through it. I don't like RNG champions. I don't like calculus champions. I want to turn my brain off when I play this game and allow myself time to relax. So this really isn't something that I am excited about, but maybe you are. And if you are, good. You know, I don't want you to lose out on fun because I'm not excited. What the heck do I know? I've been wrong before, and I guarantee you I'll be wrong again. This game is about who you enjoy playing with, but I don't like champions that when you're trying to depend on something, it's not 100%. It's just not my definition of fun. It's gambling with mechanics, which can lose you a fight, and so I'll stick with champions that I know for sure 100% of the time are going to produce a certain way unless there's a pesky node that's going to negate it. Otherwise, I'll stick with them. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.